Hello, good morning. It's Tuesday, August 6th, and I am Rob, the developer dad, and I am continuing to build a little application that's going to help me run my D&D games, namely handling, I'm going to update that later, namely handling things like when my players ask me, so what does this guy look like and what's their name and all that fun stuff. So we had a short power outage over the weekend, apparently, while I was out at the coast. And my Windows box powered down and didn't come back up, and I didn't notice it until now. So it's loading right now on the other screen. Just kind of letting it do its thing and shake its head and wake up a little bit. And then I'm going to, as soon as everything's done loading up, we'll run what we've got for now and we'll talk about where we're going. Now, last week we started in on adding a Blazor UI, and it's working pretty cool. I quite like the way it's coming together. And we ran into an issue when I went to go start adding stuff to it, that the way I had things designed, like at the code level, wasn't super modular. It wasn't very extendable. And so I went back to the drawing board and did some work in PowerPoint to kind of figure out how I could better split things up so that it's easier to work with, easier to think about, easier to talk about. And as of the end of the day on Friday, I think we've gotten ourselves to a much better point with the composability of that UI. And Visual Studio is still preparing the solution. The local language model is loaded and in API mode. So I'm just, as soon as things are good, I'll flip screens and we'll carry on. Right now it's preparing the solution. I had Windows updates this morning. It sounds like I had a hangover this morning. Let's take a look at this task manager, see how it's doing. Yeah, Visual Studio is a bit of a chunky boy when it's first loading, and Windows sometimes needs a couple of minutes just to give its head a shake and all that good stuff. I'm going to close some of these things down. Oh, we still have this spinning blue frisbee of, I'm working on it. Here we go. Come on. You can do it. Here we go. We're starting to get some text up on the screen. I'll share over. Here we go. Are you going to let me build? It's still not quite ready. Not quite ready. Still booting. But we can see that we have the view NPC attributes. Oop. Is the UI responding yet? Nope, not yet. You can do it, little laptop. It's still grinding and chunking. Rosalind's probably loading up in the background and doing all that stuff. View NPC attributes. Okay, that's great. Clunk, 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 and clunk. I still don't have my build menu up there. You can watch the toolbars loading. Here's build. You gonna let me? Come on. Here we go. let's rebuild our solution. It's restoring the NuGets, doing all the things. It says I have a change in Git, but I don't know what that change is. It did complain about one of my files being different and needing to be restored, so. Okay, here's my sea of compiler warnings, which I really do need to get around to fixing at some point. We're up to 17. Some of them are in test projects. No literal or possible null value. Yeah. Okay, rebuild all has succeeded. So I'm going to grab this and pull it down here. And let's go ahead and run the app just to see what it's doing. Just for a quick review. Come on, buddy. You can do it. The fun thing about a Windows PC is when it wakes up, it seems to like to have some coffee in the morning when it wakes up. So here we go. So we've got all of our randomly generated things. We can do all this. We've got a human male. He's 94 years old. Wow, he's an old guy. Elf female, she's 624, retired herbalist. Halfling, he's a retired cook. A retired thief. I think retired definitely needs to be a selectable option. So, I think today, I was going to do like the flip card thing where you push the AI description and it loads and it does all that AI stuff. But I think instead I want to bring the choices back in. So let's think about what that's going to take. Stop the project. We've got our partials. We've got Create NPC. Good. And don't rename it, silly. So we've got page models, Create NPC. I think we're going to need to add a new partial, and it's going to be select NPC attributes. So let's add a razor view, or a razor component, I should say. Come on, here we go. And I'm going to call this select NPC attributes. And it's thinking, it's doing its thing. Excuse me. And just like over here in the view NPC attributes, I actually want to add a public partial class called the same thing, but I'm going to call it .razor.c#. So we're going to add a class, and it's going to be called select NPC attributes .razor.c#. And I'm going to make it partial. There we go. And we can scooch this over here. And I'm gonna close out Create NPC right now. Let's come over here. We don't need the code. That can go away. And I am going to slash percent slash species background profession. Profession. Now, how do we want to do this? Well, we're definitely going to need those option thingies. So public dictionary of string and string array NPC options selectable options. Boop. Got to do a get and a set. We're going to make this a parameter. And we got to fix that. Yep. Use components. Excuse me. And then we are going to have a public dictionary string and nullable string selected options get set No, I don't like that. Public string nullable species get set. We're going to monkey around with that in a little bit. Public string background get set. Public string nullable is profession get set. Public bool is retired get set. Okay. Now, view NPC attributes .razor. I want to remove and sort those usings right now because I'm a stickler for such silly things. All right, so we need to pass this stuff in to the selectable options. And I don't think I need an uninitialized. I'm not certain. So let's come out to NPC create or create NPC Razor. And I'm going to add select, I hit the wrong button. Select NPC attributes. And selectable options equals, and then we're going to need a method to get those. So for that, we got to go out to our code behind, or our page model rather. And we're going to need public dictionary string and string array. Had a minute where I was trying to remember what I was getting. Public dictionary string array, load NPC option, load selectable NPC options, and dictionary of string and string array, because I don't like using var equals NPC services. I don't like using var when I know what the variable type is. And NPC services, and I might have to add a method to the NPC services, but that's okay. We'll do that in a second. Get NPC options. There. Now let's go to NPC services. Go to the implementation of that. Okay. So we have to come out to the NPC service provider. Here we go. And here's our character worker. That's our manager, the townsfolk manager, or the gateway to the townsfolk manager, the AI, and all the back-end services stuff. And I've got this NPC service provider, which is local to the Blazor client. It acts as a proxy to the actual back-end system for us. So generate random NPC, get AI description. And I do have some errors, and one of those errors tells me the name of the method that's missing. Load selectable, not all code paths. NPC service provider does not contain a definition for get NPC options. So, public dictionary of string and string get NPC options. And dictionary string array options equals character worker dot get NPC options. And we can hide that for now. Good, we've got our semicolon, and I can go return options. Cool. Save that. We'll come back over to our NPC page model. Load selectable NPC options. There's the options right there. Now I have to return them. save. And I believe I come out here. I think I called it load NPC options. Load selectable NPC options. Good. What are you grumping about? Okay, so it wants that. That's right, because on AI description requested, we're passing a pointer to the function, or we're passing just like the method group itself. With this, we're actually loading, or we want to get the, we want to invoke the method. Now that feels like a bad practice to me. So instead of doing it this way, I'm going to come out to the page model, and I'm actually going to create public dictionary string array NPC options selectable. And I'm going to do a get and a private set, because I don't want anything from outside of the page model to be modifying that. And we need to initialize this in the onInitialized equals load selectable NPC options. Good. Now I can take this load selectable and make it private. So nothing outside the context of this page will be a thing. I really don't like those warnings. I feel like I need to put in a build a constructor or something. Public. Let's use this snippet. There we go. Now, what are the things it's complaining about? It stopped complaining as soon as I added a constructor. Okay, that's peculiar. All right, whatever. And I'm going to call base. Now it's complaining in the constructor. Okay. So current NPC equals what? New NPC client model. We'll make that one go away. Selectable NPC options equals new not dice engine. Dictionary of string array. New. And it's still complaining about the services, but no, it's injectable. I don't want to mess with that. Save. I better do it that way. And then fix these dereferences of the possibly null references. But before I do that, I'm going to change this from invoking the method to just accessing the property on the page model. NPC services. Make that nullable. If options. No. We're going to do an early escape. And I'm going to get rid of that. Guard NPC services exists. All right. And I'm going to pop down here. Private void guard NPC services exists. And if NPC services is null, I'm going to throw new invalid operation exception cannot complete a request due to an internal error. Now, that's okay. Add logging, generate a GUID to identify the exception incident and attach that to the log event and the error message. Saved. All right, I can live with that for now. I could plumb in logging and set all of that stuff up and the dependency injection and all of that stuff now, but it's not going to get me closer to where I want to be at the end of this morning's coding session. So because we've just guarded, and if NPC services doesn't exist, it's going to throw an exception and crash the app, we can use the null forgiving operator here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing anywhere else that I'm referencing NPC services. That feels like an awful lot of repeated code. And I don't like it. So, to do is guard null forgiving on dependency. Feels bad, man. I won't even remember to do this stuff unless the compiler barks at me. Think of a better way for components to hold and resolve their own dependencies. Think of a more elegant way for components to hold and resolve their own dependencies. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. And then eventually I'm going to figure out a linter that looks for all of my to-dos and barks at me when I try to do a pull request. So it'll almost be like some automatic, hey dude, you kicked the can down the road on this and it needs to be resolved. So non-nullable property, selectable options. That needs a thing. CTOR. Selectable options equals new. Dictionary string. Each key has a list or an array of other strings that we can use. There we go. New dictionary. Good. And just for now, a list of species will be here. And copy, paste, paste. Backgrounds. I just want to test the rendering and the construction of this part here. Okay. And I want to come into select NPC attributes. I want to see when the constructors fire versus when these properties get set. And that's going to be really difficult to see, but let's see. Okay, we can close that out. On reroll click, selectable NPC options. So here's on initialized, and here's that. So let's play and see what we get. And I just realized that when I ran this up this morning or earlier at the start that I hit the old one, not the new one. Create NPC. Let's go here. All right, so our page model is spinning up the new thing. Good. Now we're into uninitialized. Excellent. And we can re-roll. Good. Good, good, good. But it's not showing us so here's this, selectable options equals selectable options, good. Here's this stuff. Can I drop a breakpoint here inside the razor? Well, let's find out. We'll come out here, reload it. We can get rid of these because we know those are firing in the correct order. And for some reason, it's not hitting our breakpoint. Build, rebuild. Okay. And let's run. Yep, that's the one I want. And for some crazy reason, it's not rendering that component out for us. I wonder why. What if I get rid of these? Let's get rid of those. Save that. And I'm going to take a look at my other existing component here and see what's missing. Very little. Okay, so it's taking in the generate AI clicked, current NPC, use metric, view NPC attributes. It's doing that stuff. Okay, I'm going to put in a null coalescing operator on the code behind here. Equals selectable attributes. And if it's null, selectable options. Okay. Save. And do we have any kind of on load? Public partial class view NPC attributes. Good. Select NPC attributes. Public partial class select NPC. Good. Does all that stuff. Okay, so that seems to be approximately parallel. Leave that breakpoint there. Because I want to make sure it's actually getting invoked, like the constructor for that control. Slash create NPC. And it is not. Why could that be? All right, let's take a look at Create NPC Razor. Do I have to register it in the code behind? Maybe. Get rid of that. Go to the definition. Nope. How about here? Go to implementation. Okay, good. So it can navigate. Okay. We got our first one out there. What if I simplify it right down to nothing? I'm going to comment that stuff out. Here we go. I'm just going to drop H3, pick some stuff, save that, come down here, comment all these things out, boop, comment out all of this nonsense, save, C, selected attributes, probably have to restart the app. And it's still being goofy. So I'm obviously doing something wrong here. What's this barking about? No, I don't want to remove it. Okay, well, let's open up Safari. dotNet 8 Blazor. Multiple components on the same page. Not on the same tag, the same component instance. Multiple forms, multiple root components. No, no, no. Excuse me. Don't need section outlets. Navigate to the same page. Compose page from multiple components. Let's just run in here and see what we can find out. Oh, heck yeah, I'm going to download that PDF. I'm just going to open that in a new tab. Let it do its thing. Okay. Razor, date time now, yeah. My component namespace, all that stuff. Attributes, blah, 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 directive, suffix name. Don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to combine them. That's in code, use components, counter. Okay. What happens if I comment this out? Just do that. Save. Run. Okay, so it's completely blank, which means I've done something dumb in here in the select NPC attributes. So let's come over here. We've gotten rid of the parameter. We've got that. Let's come out to Create NPC. Just do this. Get rid of that. Save it. And go. I should get the header now. I would hope. Or I've just completely borked everything out. Create NPC. We don't have a darn thing. Get rid of that. Why is that not appearing? I commented out return from select NPC attributes. Up in here, there's no return or anything like that in here at all. Just totally for laughs, I'm going to grab all this stuff, uncomment it. I'm going to comment out the whole class. Just go straight up, plain vanilla. Oh, you silly thing. Control A. Comment out the whole bloody code file. Save everything. So now it should just render this H3 pick some stuff. And just for laughs, add code, add the fence, go. Dash NPC. Still ain't showing up. That's so freaking weird. All right, here's what we're going to do is we're going to delete both of those files. Goodbye. All right, we got rid of those. Back out here. Zap this. Uncomment that. And we're just going to fully restore to normal, or where we were when we started this morning. What changes? Page models, that can stay. The partial, that can stay as is. Okay. We're mostly reverted. I did some service type stuff early on. Let's run. How's it going, Rex Actor? You're a new name. I haven't seen you before. NPC. Okay, so we have reverted. Let's do this. H3, pick some stuff. Started the bare bones. Okay, good. There's pick some stuff. Now, because I'm about to factor this out into a new component, add Blazor component and PC options. Paste this, save it, and now I'm going to add select NPC options. We should retain that H3. PC, and there's pick some stuff. Good. Good, good, good. So now, let's add a class called select NPC options dot razor .cs, add, make it a partial, public string, header text, get set, at header text, out in Create NPC, we're going to set header text. And I need to make that a parameter. Resolve that, save, go. So sometimes when stuff ain't working, you got to go right back to the simplest form and work your way forward as quickly as you possibly can, especially when you're dealing with stuff that you're not super familiar with doing. And there's hello there. So good. Our subcomponent is now rendering and accepting parameters. Public, dictionary, string and string array, selectable options, get set, save, parameter, save, selectable options equals selectable options, but if it's null, give me a new dictionary. Save. What are you complaining about? Header text? Yeah, whatever. Header text equals header text, but if it's null, hello there. And I'm going to come out here. General Kenobi, I've been expecting you. Save. And equals at this dot selectable NPC options. Save. That might have been my problem all along as I gooned out on the specifying this dot for the, although I don't know that that's necessarily required. Run it again, one step at a time. Sometimes going too fast is going to slow you down. I know this. I should know better. I've been doing this for a long, long time. General Kenobi, I've been expecting you. That's what we've passed in. Selectable options. Great. Okay. So let's try adding input select of string. No, stop that. And this is the first time I've ever used an input select. at bind value equals species. I'll add that in a second. What are you complaining about? Does not exist. Of course it doesn't, because I haven't created it yet. String species. All right. Now let's come out here. Blazor input select. Just so you know, Rexactor, it has been over a decade since I've messed with UI stuff. I usually live behind the API. I don't want to bind it with a database. Not using SSR for enumerations in Blazor. I don't want to go to Medium because they nag me every time I go there. It's 2022. Not worried about that. Support the system, whatever. Heck with it. I'm guessing that child content, display name, T value, value change, value expression. There's got to be an item source. I'm guessing it's probably at bind equals and then I got to come into, what did I call it? Selectable options, and it's species. I've got to spell it right. Oh, it really doesn't like any of that. We're going to do this old school. Input type equals where's list? Is it list or select? I can't remember. No, it's just a select list. Select at bind at for each var species in what's that property called? Selectable. Selectable options, species, option, value equals at species, at species. I want to add an option to the top. Option value equals empty string random. Let's see if this renders. I'm skeptical that I'll be able to actually select or get the selected value out of it easily like this, but let's give it a shot. Half-life. Okay. All right. And let's see about adding bind now. Bind the provided expression to the value attribute. Okay. Okay. Now my gut is saying I need to do something. Something a little bit different than I'm doing here. And I think I need to go into the page model and I need to do here's selectable NPC options. What I'm going to do is public dictionary string and a nullable string selected NPC options get private set okay, pop up here. That's uninitialized. I'm going to do something special there. What did I just do? Go selected NPC options equals new dictionary of string and nullable string. Good. Now, for each var kvp, no, string option key in selectable NPC options.keys selected NPC options key, nope, option key, equals null. There. And that may throw up all over the place, but it shouldn't. And come over here. I'm going to add a public dictionary. String and a string. Selected options. Come to the end. Selected options equals selected options. But if it's null, give me a new dictionary. Save. I need to expand these. To return selected options species string dot empty. Save. And selected options species equals value. String to set equals string dot is null or white space value, then null else value. And pop that over to set. What are you complaining about? Oh, duh.
Look at that.
I did something dumb here. Value may be null here, right? I know. Value string dot empty. We're going to null it. Type bool and null. Oh, what the hell? Screw it. We're just going to set it to value. Save. And we need to add this out here. Selected options equals at this dot selected NPC options. Good. Why are you a different color? because I have to turn it into a parameter. And I am going to monkey with this between now and 1 o'clock because I need to step away for a few minutes. But I'll be back at 1 with what I discover and what I make working and all of that stuff. And then we'll expand this to add background and profession, as well as a checkbox or something, so that we can determine whether or not they're retired or whether we want to leave that part random. So until then, take care of yourselves. My name is Rob. I am that developer dad. Like, follow, you can't subscribe on Twitch yet because I'm not an affiliate. So just like and follow. And find the archives of these videos over on YouTube. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Take care.